We got ourselves Atho over for the team one, ready to go. Man, that weapon looks good on you. I like the mog that you've been rocking too, like the whole like fiery druid paladin thing. We got Jay in the back with Kata, as well as Lore. And who's first up? Bag versus Woosh the Man. Already using the karma really early on though. I'm hoping Bag did end up switching up his talents for a second win as Woosh. Try to see if we can blast him out. Big leg sweep, big defenses. Bag just trying to see if he can manage with just a rallying cry. Does have to alter into a even more defenses within rage generation as he got himself at least a little bit of DR, maybe a little bit of healing with bloodthirst. If he can ever reach Woosh, man rolling out of there, trying to see if he can stay away. Big damage on the backhand. Woosh with a parry, got himself locked down for a second, just used to get backhand low enough, does not get a low enough for a touch of death as Bag goes in with a big old execute. Got him some defenses. Second one, there it is. Second one kicking in. If Nigel gives him any time right now, the Warrior's just going to be able to recover all of that health as he goes in for a shot mode. He does shot him out, trying to see if he can avoid him. Does give him opportunity to get a proper stun trinket out of Nigel really early on, though. Charging right past him with a big hunt immediately. Backhand does not have the defenses to deal with this one. Mad damage on a Nigel immediately. The guy just went down so fast. Polly to follow for Jay as Nigel no longer has a trinket. If he can utilize his ventral retreat at the right time, however, around Jay, he will be okay. Got plenty of CC. Big fear onto Jay. Touch of the Magi onto Nigel. For Jay, he needs to build up a lot of that damage of Touch of the Magi. Does get locked out on Arcane though. That is going to stifle a lot of his go. Nigel does get to survive a lot of the damage with an immunity immediately. Touch of the Magi, as long as you get to have some kind of defensive touch, I think for the most part you'll be good. Jay able to avoid him handily. Big ports into a poly right after. Does get hit with a stun as Nigel just absolutely devours a good chunk out of his health. Takes it and Jay just has to go for a block. Needs to cool off and just go for a bit of a resetting spaghetti. As Nigel still able to go for a bit of that range damage with them sigils. Quite a lot of that sustained damage too. Like if you could just go with this, just a throw glaive, put a bleed on the guy, throw that sigil of fire, as well as flame immolation aura, and you just gotta hug whoever you're fighting, that's quite a bit of that sustained damage that's just gonna make the enemy melt little by little. Got himself the IBM touch of the matchup. Better be a little bit careful with the burst as he got himself another hunt onto Jay, rooted him in place for just a second, charging right back to him with a stun. No outs for this one. Jay might be in a heaps of trouble. The man does get to go for a juke. Polly last second, still bleeding. The man doesn't get to sit Polly long at all. I think maybe there was another tempest that maybe broke him out, but Nigel blasting past the wizard super quickly as Atha is gonna be up next. Got himself a random proc of wings, playing Crusade though. Just playing for more of a haymaker go. As long as he can stack up and build up the damage with a haymaker, he'll be a-okay. I want to see if this man is gonna go for another fair lath combo. He needs to stun Nigel. That or he needs to go for get stunned himself, and then that's where Furlath is going to do a lot of the damage on its own. Stun out of Nigel. Needs to find a way just to chip away health at Atho. Quick hit and runs. That's exactly what he's doing there with Essence. Dropping down darkness just to cover his approach a little bit. Shield advantage for Atho with a big hammer hanging over the man's head. Nigel's darkness, I was going to say maybe won't last until the hammer falls, but he's actually just fine. He's actually did a bit of recovery. He needs to be very careful with those hit and runs though. He doesn't have a lot of health, but Metamorphosis may give him that opportunity. Does get hit with a blind. Could trinket at any moment. Is gonna miss a couple of attacks. IBM right after. Stunned by Atho. Got himself maybe a bubble. Nigel needs to escape this as soon as possible. Atho looking for a bit of recovery. Got himself full crusade rolling, but needs to find a way to stay on top of Nigel. Mans goes for a shot mill for just a second. Needs a big stun. Big hunter follow. Maybe takes out Atho. Trying to see if he can stay on a big blade dance and escape. So just a short smidge of his health. The man does end up getting himself quite a bit of recovery and Lore. Is he gonna give him that honor duel though? Hold on. If Lore wants him to get a proper honor duel, you could just gotta slowly approach, point at the evoker, right? If you point at the evoker, then Spyro could heal him. By the way, fantastic looking mount. You gotta get a green version of those things as well. But if you actually want to go for a proper honor duel, you could just gotta point at the... Is he doing it? Like, see, he's trying to be very careful. Nigel thinks it's a fight. Laura just looking at the evoker. Points. Hey, hold on. Nigel. Oh, no. Okay, now Spyro just stay away. But he did give you the go-ahead. He's trying to give you an honor duel. Nigel just does not want to get a handout, man. He doesn't want to get a handout. Or maybe the fact that the man's got immunity, plus those hit and runs, he's like, you know what? I don't need it. I'll be just fine. Light, how you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one. Coming in like lightning. Hey, my guy, welcome. Stun out of Lore. Nigel does go for the Sigil of Fear. Technically, Lore does have a Lichborn to break out of it. is going to get gripped right in. I don't know if that cleave connected at all. The man's leaping out of there. He's not even sure if it connected. He's just backing up. He needs cooldowns right now. Everything is on CD, but things are coming back up in like 10 seconds. Hunt in 10 seconds. You got Ventral Retreat in 10 seconds. Meta in 15 seconds. He just needs to live. Just get the Hunt together with Ibium. Maybe that leech together is going to give him a bit of healing and 25% dampening. Lorik just giving himself a bulk of health with a dark bag, but not enough to keep himself alive. Still taking hits after hits. The sustained damage of DH is just nutty. Nigel back in with yet another blade. Does get himself meta. Second blade to follow. Taking him out with Kata. Last one left. Kata needs to find a way just to eliminate this man. Stunned immediately. Trinkets to follow. Nigel needs to escape out of this one. Ventral Retreat is available. Might want to back up out of there. Big cleave into a Ventral Retreat. Back it up as soon as possible. Does a blur. Shut him out for a second. Needs to blur this immediately. Stun short. Hold on a second. Oh my god. If only he dodged the blur. I mean, it's really, he did everything he could. It's kind of RNG whether he does land a dodge or not, but man. And chat, we were just talking about, hey, you know, are Demon Hunters really strong in the overall department? Wouldn't see a lot of them in duels. And there goes my man Nigel just popping up here out of left field. They're pretty good, honestly. Spyro should not have any issues, I don't think, with Kata. The Karma may turn this around a little bit. The Zuen is doing work. Kata trying to see if he can slow it down a little. Catch a breather. Soothe and miss. Spyro taking a bit of damage. Got himself Renew and Blaze. He wants to stay aggressive if possible, but he's got to go for a bit of mobility while get himself up to speed with a health. Trinket out of the in-cap. Kata, does he have a leg? He does not have leg sweep. It's going to be a bit of a sleepwalk. That's going to be a little longer duration. Give Spyro a bit of opportunity to recover. Trying to see if he can go for those living flames, but barely alive. Does go for the shatter. If he can get himself the angle with a bit of movement and disintegrate behind the pillar, Kata could go down here, but the man's got himself just enough survivability to keep going. Wall up for Spyro, cannot get interrupted, so he can go for full damage right now, trying to go counter effective. Big bleed, sleepwalk right after. Dot does get removed, but I think he has a little bit of mana. It's just not effective anymore at this high dampening. Does get locked out on blue. Try to go for a deep breath, but the game will not let him. Oh no! That was so close. That deep breath meant the animation. There's a little bit of downtime with that animation. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta fly up and then you gotta start rampaging right through the front of you, right? But that fly up, it is a little bit of like a ramp up. Even Demon Hunters are kind of animation locked with the meta. Not even that badly either. At least you're immune while that's happening. They couldn't give that to evokers at all. Though again, imagine if like augmentation had that, right? Aug would have been crazy. I think Dev though, or maybe the healing evoker, wouldn't be the worst if they had something like that. Stun on Takata, technically has a trinket, in-cap onto Griff into a Fist of Fury. Cheap shot, and since Cheap Shot will strike it from behind, avoiding that Fist of Fury entirely. Fist of Fury back in for Kata though. Or maybe he never Fist of Fury in the first place. Griff does have evasion. Kata looking for a bit of recovery back behind the pillar. Immediate karma. Griff could cloak it if he wanted to. He's just gonna go for a blind reset, as Images is gonna come back to Kata with a sap right after. I don't know if he's got anything to get out of this one. Shadow Blades are down for Griff. I don't think it's gonna be enough to dissuade a lot of his burst goes, but let's see. Hold on. Kata, maybe he lives, maybe he dies. Sepsis. Technically, I think he can remove Sepsis. Am I wrong about that? Oh, does go defensive, tanking it up as much as possible. Look at Catch Griff, taking a bit of damage little by little. Griff does go for a vanish reset. For Kata, if he can randomly just find Griff, ring of peace, very close. Griff somehow out in the open, does throw in a shuriken. It's going to be Zuen leaping in. It's going to dot him, hopefully, right? If that's true for Kata, this is huge, because Griff, now he has a lace line inside of the rogue, unless he goes for a full cloak. Wait, kidney does not have an out for this one. Is that a full go? Secret? Yeah, not much you can do. Not much, unless you have yourself a trinket out or a defensive that you can use while stunned. Yeah, not much you can do. Nigel does pull off a 4-1, almost a 4-0. 5-0 would have been in that case, but he did really well there. Demon Hunters, man, don't work. He didn't even need the evoker to come heal him. He just wanted to fight, I think it was Lore, right? Just wanted to fight him either way. Let's get another one going.